In a relatively recent update to the game, the Rebel group system has been changed with the Stronghold system. So with a previous system going up to a maximum of level 25 and having elite and normal variants, the maximum level is now 400, and you'll be able to spawn separate Rebel groups for infantry, cavalry, and spearmen, and to reach the next higher level of that certain Rebel group, you'll have to defeat the previous stage, increasing higher and higher until you reach the maximum of 400. And as you go up, the amount of chests that you will receive from clearing these rebel groups will increase in brackets also. So when this first got introduced, I started tracking the data from these chest drops to try and determine exactly what we were getting from them. And I have all of that data spreadsheeted out here. So they will drop chests which will contain speed ups, red copper, and then a random assortment of badges, which can drop every time you open them. So here we have the data for level 1s, level 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. All data samples are over 2,000, except level 3s, which is still well over 1,000, so it's a very healthy sample size, and we can draw a fair few conclusions out of this data when we get to that. So just as far as the actual drops go per chest rarity, the general trend obviously is as you go up, you get more of everything. It's higher drop rates on the badges, you get more speed ups, more red copper, and that's consistent throughout. As a rough average, it seems that bow badges have ever so slightly lower drop rate than the melee units. So bow defense badges were added to the Stronghold chests. They weren't in these chests previously. I believe the only way of obtaining these through free-to-play means was through AM rewards, which meant for free-to-play bow players, it was basically impossible to get bow defense badges to any respectable level. So they seem to be about 0.01, a tick below the melee units at each stage, but the trend throughout seems to be about 0.02 grey badges per each melee unit attack and defense as an average value every time you open level 1 chests, and then it ticks up to about 0.03 on level 2s, and then 0.04, and then 0.05, and then finally about 0.06 on the level 5 chests. So with that, we can then effectively calculate how long it will take to gold these badges through these rewards alone. So this is entirely based off normal endurance recovery times, which is about 3 per minute. So for me, my data is I blitz 303. That gives 2 gold chests, 1 purple chest. So for me, with honor token, it would take about 120 days to get a gold badge for each of the melee unit badges, and about 170 days for the bow badges. I'm not sure what I was expecting realistically, but that is probably faster than I thought, because you can also, of course, use endurance items. You can use a maximum of 28 a day when you use the Grand Keep buff, and that cuts it down to about 70 days for me for the melee unit badges. That is specific to me, however, so something more realistic would probably be something like this. You can see it doesn't hugely decrease with the endurance items there, still at about 80 days. And if you don't have honor token, then the value will of course decrease very significantly. And you start getting in the region of almost a year for the bow badges to gold. So as an overall takeaway from this, you can really start to see the impact of the honor token as an investment here, particularly if you need badges. I mean, cutting down the time here goes from like 209, 230 to 125, 138. So you're almost cutting off 100 days saved to gold these badges. And remember, you're getting all these simultaneously because it's random drops. So you're not chasing one directly. You're getting all of these at the exact same time. So this will really, really help complete your badges if you haven't already. Even if you're a fairly developed account, you still need the defenses for your main troop type or your second troop type or whatever. It'll be very, very useful. I think as a average value to share around somewhere in the region of about 130 days with honor token to gold the melee unit badges. Bow badges have a slightly lower drop rate. If you're chasing badges, you still need to gold them. You can potentially look to start buying up the endurance item in the VIP store daily, and indirectly that will effectively be gaining you badges, of course. It cuts off like a few weeks there on the time calculator, which is fairly significant when you consider it's doing all of these at once. And I know a lot of people just blitz this mindlessly and don't think about it too much, but you can see as you go down this whole list, even the speed ups get quite significant on the gold chests, that you will, if possible, want to push to the highest level of stronghold that you can actually get to, just so you can blitz it every day and get higher rarity chests. Because as you can see, the chest rarities do matter. The difference between purple and gold isn't huge. As you get below that, especially, it does start getting very big in terms of jumps. So I definitely try and push to have at minimum only purple or gold chests, which I believe is 240 on your stronghold level and up. If you're looking to get 3 chests a day at least, that is. And that's pretty much it. That's all the information there realistically is to know about these new stronghold chests and exactly how long you're going to need to gold out badges through these new rebel groups.